Oh, yes. He's pretty much one of the top guys at ICE, and it's pretty much handling of their training and all this good stuff. So we're going to see what he has to say about this whole shooting, because if you've seen the video, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell went down? Why was the guy shot? Y'all took the gun away from him. All of a sudden, y'all shooting him. Did he try to reach for a gun? What happened? Well, we're about to find out, guys. So let's make sure to double tap that screen and like the video, and make sure to support the show with a question, comment, joke, or disagreement through a super chat. All right, guys, let's go.
U.S. Border Patrol Commander at Large, Greg Bobino. Thank you for being here, sir. You are still in Minneapolis, and I want to get to a lot of questions that we have that are unanswered. First and foremost is that Alex Pretty approached Border Patrol agents with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. I want to go back to one of the videos, and I know you can see it there, and I want to ask you about what you're seeing, because multiple angles of this incident show him holding up a cell phone and recording it, not a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Did he at any point pull out his weapon?
Dana, good morning, and thanks for having me. The weapon, and we do know that the suspect did bring a weapon, a loaded 9mm high-capacity handgun, to a riot. We do know that. As far as what happened in that intervening moment with the video that you just showed, that's going to come to light through the investigation. That's being investigated, and those facts and those questions will be answered soon enough.
Okay, but the Homeland Security Secretary is not waiting for that investigation to take place before saying that Alex Pretty was, quote, brandishing a weapon. Let's go to video 7, because, of course, you know this far better than I. The definition of brandishing is waving or flourishing something, especially a weapon, as a threat or an anger and excitement.
And I'll be real with you. I seen the video too, and I mean, I didn't see him walk up with a gun. I seen him get in the way of the ICE officer pushing that lady, which I'll be real with you, he probably shouldn't have got involved in. But I seen him getting involved with that one. The ICE officers rush over. I didn't see him pull for a gun. Like I said, when he was on the ground, he may have, but the way it seems is like the ICE officers overreacted and they all just start unloading on this man, which is ridiculous. But we'll see as more evidence comes out.
That's just a still photo of what Alex Pretty appears to be holding. There is nothing that we have seen that showed him, as Secretary Noem said, brandishing a weapon. Have you, sir, seen something different to support what the Secretary said?
Dan, I think what we need to take a look at here is the situation in its totality. What happened leading up to this situation? The suspect decided to inject himself into a law enforcement action. What's not being said here is the fact that Border Patrol agents and law enforcement were conducting a targeted law enforcement effort against a violent, illegal alien that was nearby, and that suspect injected himself into that law enforcement situation with a weapon. And what happened between when that situation first came about and the shooting, that's going to be investigated, and we're going to get to the facts of that.
Well, you said yesterday that this looks like a situation where the individual wanted to do maximum damage and massacre law enforcement. What evidence do you have that he wanted to massacre law enforcement? Because all the videos that we have, and I do want to, we just have a still shot up now, but I do, control room, want to play one of the other videos. Let's play video number 1 again. It doesn't look anything like he's trying to massacre law enforcement. In fact,
I mean, yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'll play some videos my damn self. Like, to be quite honest with you guys, hey, I call balls and strikes on both sides. Like with the Renee Good one, we could say there was a good, I would honestly sit there and say that, yeah, there's a good case for self-defense. This one, I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm not so sure.
Honestly.
Like, there's the lady pretty much. And we'll get a slowdown on it as well. This guy takes his gun out, starts shooting. I'm just like, whoa. And then other guys just unload on him. Yeah. And here's what throws me: is like, all right, but was he grabbing for a gun? Was he trying to reach in his pocket? Was he trying to go for his gun? No, his gun was already taken away at this point too. So I don't even think they were trying to go for the gun. I think his gun was taken away at this point. They may have not have noticed, and him still reaching for it, or they believe that he was reaching for it. They start firing. I don't know, but I'm be honest with you, this does not look good. Like, all right. So yeah. But all right, though, let's get over here to Dana Bash pressing Gregory here.
He was filming, and then it looked like he was trying to help another individual there who was pushed down by law enforcement, and then they went after him.
In fact, I believe that the fantastic training that our law enforcement partners have, the fact that they're highly trained, prevented any specific shootings of law enforcement. So good job for our law enforcement in taking him down before he was able to do that. And again, Dana, let's look at why he was there in the first place. Was he simply walking by and just happened to walk into a law enforcement situation and try to direct traffic and stand in the middle of the road and then assault, delay, and obstruct law enforcement? Or was he there for a reason? Did he fall victim to that violent and heated rhetoric by a Mayor Fry, a Governor Waltz? Look, Dana, they're trying to portray Border Patrol agents and ICE agents as Gestapo.
I mean, yeah, they're trying to frame them as untrained lunatics and all this crazy thing, but all of them are like, well, they're either veterans or they're ex-law enforcement. So these are not untrained guys. These are guys being put in a difficult position by the people in Minnesota. They're being put in this difficult position. The mayor doesn't want to do any type of crowd control. They want the protest to obstruct and further put themselves in danger. And I kept saying that, yo, Renega's not going to be the last one if this doesn't stop. There's going to be more. And apparently I've been proved right. Sadly, I didn't want to be right about this, but if you guys, one, don't turn down the temperature when it comes to rhetoric against ICE, you wouldn't have guys like this guy who's going there trying to literally fight ICE. Think about it, because I don't agree with the man being shot, but he went up there trying to fight ICE off. When I'm like, bro, you're literally trying to fight off law enforcement. What do you think is going to happen after that?
Nazi and many other words. Did this individual fall victim, as many others have, to that type of heated rhetoric?
I want to stay focused on this incident right now,
I
because
agree.
what you were saying is that he went there to try to stop this law enforcement operation.
I don't
All
think
of the
he did,
video
though.
that we have seen shows.
Yeah, I don't think he pulled a gun on him, though. Like I said, I think what I heard is that they took the gun away, and I'm not sure if the other officers seen that he took the gun away, but they knew that he had a gun on him. And somebody took the gun away, but I don't think the other officers got that. And he looked like he was still reaching for the gun, so they ended up shooting him. This is what I'm just going off of my assessment. Like I said, we're still waiting on more to come out.
Him documenting it with his cell phone, which is a lawful thing to do. And the only time he seemed to interact with law enforcement is when they went after him when he was trying to help an individual.
No, that's not true.
Pushed down. So
no, that's not true. Actually, no, he stepped in the way of law enforcement. That's the actual truth. So, okay, let me see here if I can go ahead and pull this video up for you guys, showing you guys that actually, no, he stepped in front of the law enforcement, which was, I'm be honest with you. I mean, hey, you can feel however you want to feel about it. I'm just here to tell you the truth. So this is the video here. As you can see, he pushed the lady out the way. This guy comes in the way. I guess he tried to help the lady up. This guy's spraying him. He's still trying to help the lady up. I mean, he's pulling on the lady for some reason. I mean, then the cops swarm him. The cops are swarming the lady as well. He's still struggling. We don't know what he's reaching for, what he's trying to do. And then, boom, here comes the shot because the officer pulled his gun out. And everybody backed up. So here's another sad case. Whoop. But here's another sad case of somebody just, well, sadly getting in the way.
Where do you have the evidence to show that he was trying to impede that that law enforcement operation?
Sure, Dana. First, he was there in the scene. He was in the scene actively.
Oh, guys, and I'm still under a shadow ban, guys. So you can do me a favor and double tap that screen and like the video, guys. Appreciate the support.
Impeding and assaulting law enforcement to the point.
But that's not illegal. He wasn't impeding it. He was filming it, which is a legal thing to do in the United States of America.
Dana, let's don't freeze frame adjudicate this now. He was there for a reason, and that reason was to impede law enforcement to the point.
What evidence do you have of that?
Here's a good point, Dana, is the fact that
but I mean, here's the thing though. What I heard that they took the gun took the gun from him, and for some reason he still end up shot. Like, I'm be real with you, this is not good. This does look like ICE overreacted, in my personal opinion.
De-escalation techniques were utilized during this action. Those de-escalation techniques, whether it was physically trying to remove them from that law enforcement scene, that active law enforcement scene in which law enforcement were going after a violent illegal alien, or the use of pepper spray, which is another de-escalation technique. Those techniques did not work. Officers always try to use the minimum amount of force necessary to either effect an arrest, which in this case was more than likely 18 U.S.C. 111, assault on a federal officer, or
where did he assault a federal officer in any of the video that you have seen? Because it looked to us from every angle, sir.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Yeah, you see, and then you kind of cut out that first 30 seconds of the video where he obviously got in the way. Like, you know, this video right here, boom, got in the way, and that's obstructing right there. That was obstruction. Does he deserve to get shot for that? Hell no. But yeah, that's what CNN is not showing. They're not showing this part right here where, I mean, pushed the lady, which is crazy, but getting in the way right there. And I know I was watching on CNN, I kind of seen how they skipped that part right there and they jumped straight to the struggle, which is, I mean, insane, by the way, because if you want to give full context, you got to show the whole video.
That he was approached by them when he was helping another individual who was pushed down. What evidence do you have that he was assaulting any law enforcement?
Dana, we don't need a suspect's help in an active law enforcement scene.
When you say suspect, what is
we
he
didn't
suspected
ask his help. That's an active law enforcement scene. He knew that was an active law enforcement scene, especially when the officers approached him, and it's very evident he did not need to be where he was.
So when somebody
on his own to stay there.
So when somebody is pushed down and a person's instinct is to help that person, when somebody's pushed down by law enforcement, you're saying that you just stand back and let law enforcement do what they're doing? I mean,
yeah, actually, I mean, hold on now. Yes, actually, that's exactly what we're saying. I mean, you step back, you let law enforcement do what they're doing. Yeah, I mean, if you try to get involved with, I mean, an arrest, they might have been trying to make an arrest on that woman. Why would you sit there, get involved? You can't do that, Dana. I'm not sure like why she's sitting there saying this, but yeah, you can't do that.
His instinct is to help that person. When somebody's pushed down by law enforcement, you're saying that you just stand back and let law enforcement do what they're doing?
Yeah, because if it was just regular police, nobody would have gotten away. If it was just regular police, everybody understands that. But everybody's treating ICE officers like what? Like they're not actual police, like they're not actual federal agents, and you're trying to treat these guys like they're civilians that you can just tell them, oh no, stop, you can't do this. Yes, they can, because you're telling them that you're trying to stop them. They can go ahead and take you in too. And she just sat there and said it out loud for all of us to hear, like, oh, so you're telling me they're not allowed to just stop law enforcement? No, not at all. I mean, unless law enforcement is going on a homicidal shooting spree, no, you can't.
I mean, is that really human nature?
Bro,
you know, Dana,
please, I mean, let's leave those emotions out of it. Like, trust me, we all feel bad for this man's death. That's human nature. We're trying to sit there and say that, oh, he should have been able to obstruct these law enforcement, get in the way and fight back against them. I mean, do you hear yourself? Like, no, you shouldn't be inspiring anybody to do that with law enforcement. But here Dana Bash is trying to be like, oh, but it's the human thing to do. You're going to get people hurt.
Situation is different. What our officers are faced with here in Minneapolis are chaotic, very difficult and violent situations in which individuals, and this suspect is not the only one to bring a loaded weapon to a
Oh, yeah. Shout out to my guys in the Rumble chat. Guys, head over to Rumble if you can. It's Set Media on Rumble. So make sure to follow me on Rumble as well. I'll go ahead and post it in the chat later.
The situations are chaotic and ever changing. Follow directions for law enforcement. Don't inject yourself knowingly beforehand into a law enforcement situation.
With respect, it feels as though in some ways you're blaming the victim here.
The victims are the Border Patrol agents. I'm not blaming the Border Patrol agents. The victim.
Nah, bro, that might have not been the right thing to say. I'd have said there's victims on both sides. That'd have been probably the more politically correct thing to say. Because honestly, there is. I mean, bro did not walk out there pulling a gun on them. What bro did was he got in the way of ICE officers, just like Renee Good. They got in the way of ICE officers. For some reason, Dana Bash thinks it's okay for, oh, well, the citizens in danger, you're allowed to impede law enforcement. No, you can't. I'm not sure where she heard that from, but you are not allowed to do that. And if you're a CNN, and this is what scares me because millions of people watch CNN still, believe it or not. So millions of people are watching this lady right here tell them, oh, no, it's okay. It's a human thing to do to sit there and get in the way of law enforcement. It's like, what? And then they don't want to take no accountability for the Renee Good shooting. This is the exact rhetoric that got her shot.
Or the Border Patrol
Hold
agents.
On, man. Let me get my man
The
Monty.
suspect put himself in that situation. The victims are the Border Patrol agents there.
I want to go back to the gun, sir, because I think this is really, really critical. You can see.
And shout out to Monty, super chatting. Well, sending in a Rumble rap. He said, Rumble rant. He said, link me up, big dog. Don't worry, I got you.
An agent, and I just want to go to, let's see here, video 5. You can see a screenshot of an agent in a green jacket approach Freddie, and then he appeared to take a gun away. When the agent took the gun away, which seems as though it was Freddie's gun, that happened before Freddie was shot. Why was an unarmed man shot multiple times by law enforcement, by your Border Patrol agents?
Dana, you don't know he was unarmed. I don't know he was unarmed. That's freeze frame adjudication of a crime scene.
No, okay, but whoa. But here's the thing, though, because I mean, CNN kind of catching him up on this, but yeah, that guy right there, that's the guy that pretty much took the gun, though. When he took the gun, but I'm not sure if all the ICE. Sorry to talk while he's talking, but when he took the gun, I'm not sure the ICE officers honestly noticed it. I think they believe that he still had the gun on him, which is honestly, like I said, they should have double checked. That's a fault on them. But yeah, it's looking like this guy right there, he took the gun. The ICE officers didn't look like they knew, because I mean, what would be the point of drawing a gun on him if he's unarmed? Like, that's a ridiculous part about this. And I mean, this is why I agree with Monty too in the chat when I say, yo, this is a bad shot. Like, what the hell?
Crime scene via a photo. That's why we have investigators. That's why we have an investigation that is going to answer those questions. How many shots were fired? Who fired shots? Where was the guns? Where were the guns located? All those questions are going to be answered.
I think you can see the screen
in the investigation. We're not going to adjudicate that here on TV in one freeze frame there.
Okay, it's not a freeze frame. We're showing a video of one of your agents taking the gun away, and that happened before Freddie was shot.
We don't know that agent was taking any gun away. That could have been the agents, because we don't know that. The facts are going to come to light.
So you're disputing the video that that's what happened?
With an investigation. That's why we investigate.
Well, with respect, you say that's why we investigate, but you're also drawing other conclusions that sort of fly in the face of waiting for an investigation. I just want to also go back to what I was asking about with regard to what Secretary Noem said, that he was brandishing a gun. At any point, do you have any evidence that, yes, he had a gun on his person? Was he brandishing it? Was he a threat because he had a gun in his hand that put law enforcement in danger?
Danny, we heard the law enforcement officer say gun, gun, gun. So at some point they knew there was a gun. So again, that is going to be part of that investigation as to what was happening on the ground there between those victims, the Border Patrol agent victims, and the suspect.
Both the police chief in Minneapolis, O'Hara, and Governor Walz say Preddy was legally licensed to carry a concealed weapon.
I mean,
so are you saying
great? That don't
it's
mean
not
nothing,
okay
though.
for him to exercise his Second Amendment right, not to mention his First Amendment right to be there in the first place, but his Second Amendment right to carry?
I mean, to protest, yeah, but when he stepped in front of that ICE officer, that wasn't protesting no more. That was obstruction. Like I said, there's a fine line between protest and obstruction. And for some reason, these Dems don't get it. They don't get it. It's like, you know, when you protest, you can sit there and cry and complain all you want, hold up the signs, make fun of these guys all you want. But as soon as you try to get in their way, you are obstructing. Therefore, they can go ahead and arrest you, detain you, and all that good stuff. So I'm not sure where the confusion is, but actually I do know where the confusion is. Shout out to Dana Bash telling you it's the human thing to do to obstruct law enforcement. So now I'm really looking at the Democratic part or the Democrat base like, yeah, y'all kind of screwed, because if y'all listen to this lady and people like her, y'all walking yourselves into a dangerous situation. Like, period, point blank. And shout out to my man Anonymous. Happy Sunday. Off to church soon. Are we still mods over on Rumble? I'm going over there right now. Hope you have a blessed day, Set. Thank you for what you do. So, hey, man, I appreciate that, man. You have a blessed day as well. Man, throw a couple prayers in for your boy. Appreciate you. But shout out to my man Green Bean. And actually, yeah, guys, make sure to remind me though, because once Rumble starts blowing up, you know, once we get you guys over there on Rumble and that starts going up, I'm gonna go ahead and start placing guys as mods and all that good stuff. Because I'm gonna be real with you, when the Rumble chat start blowing up, I'm really gonna need you guys. Because remember, there is no censorship on Rumble, so whatever these guys type in the chat, I mean, bro, prepare to be surprised and offended.
A gun, and if you do, you can be shot by federal law enforcement.
No, I didn't say that, Dana. I never said that. What I'm saying is we respect that Second Amendment right, but those rights don't count when you riot and assault, delay, obstruct, and impede law enforcement officers, and most especially when you mean to do that beforehand.
How do you know that?
When you mean to do that beforehand, when you show up to an active crime scene, don't leave the crime scene and you're armed, then you know, you've got the decision-making process for that individual doesn't seem to be very good. Now, back to the Second Amendment. What you're saying about the Second Amendment is peacefully protesting with firearms. Absolutely, I've done that myself, and fully support that. But not when you perpetrate violence, obstruct, delay, or obfuscate Border Patrol in the performance of their duties in an
There's no evidence that he was perpetrating violence. And there's no evidence, unless you have it, and we'd love to see it if there is, that he was intending to massacre law enforcement. Other than,
I mean, I'll be real with you. Yeah, I'll give her that. I mean, there is no evidence that she was going out there to massacre law enforcement. I'm not even going to give that to him. Like, apparently the gun was in his holster. He was pretty much being a responsible gun user. He didn't take it out in front of ICE officers. I don't believe he even threatened ICE officers with it. The main problem is he came up an armed man obstructing ICE officers. I mean, I'm gonna be real with you. That is a pretty crazy threat. Like, hold on, you're armed and you're trying to get in the way of an officer, and you're an armed individual. Do you not understand what type of pressure that puts an officer under? Any man under. I'm just like, wait, you're armed and you're trying to get in the way of me as an officer? I'm like, yeah, I'm treating you as a deadly threat. And I know you got your Second Amendment and all that, but yeah, you're an armed individual coming at an officer. I'm sorry, but the officer's allowed to look out for their own safety. I mean, that's something that you Dems don't understand, but hey, I mean, apparently y'all wanted this guy to get ran over by Renee Good. He was just supposed to sit there and die, apparently.
And the fact that he was there and he had a gun lawfully.
Oh, let me go ahead and...
He meant to be there beforehand. Again, Dana, he came there beforehand.
How do you know that?
A reason.
How do you know that?
Because he was there.
But all he was doing was filming and documenting it, which is legal. He was carrying a gun, which in Minneapolis
I didn't
is
say
legal.
it was.
All right, man, and shout out to our guys here. So still haven't tried 1775 coffee. Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold dark roast that hits hard, smooth medium roast, the vitality mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus, no crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free, mold free. Plus, you also getting a golden spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic, a frother strong enough to stir up coffee and your mother-in-law's opinions, and a black 1775 tumbler, $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. I'll say that again, $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. Go to 7075coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like Rumble does. All right, guys, appreciate that. And shout out to 1775 Coffee. Let's get back to the show.
And I didn't say it wasn't legal.
So then what did he do that was illegal?
Assault federal law enforcement when he does that. That's an active law enforcement crime
Where do you
scene
see in the video that he was
decided to enter into?
Where do you see in the video that he was assaulting law enforcement? Because from everything we have seen, law enforcement was assaulting him when he was there trying to help another individual.
Dana, law enforcement doesn't assault anyone. Follow directions of law
Like I
enforcement.
said, though, he actually stepped up to law enforcement first. He's the one who pushed law enforcement back. And I mean, after that, I'm be real with you, it's kind of, well, as we say, it's up from there. If he'd have never came in, and I know he was trying to protect that citizen, but he was obstructing the law enforcement at the same time. So sorry, but it is what it is on that note. But all right, though. Let's see here. About to bring in Monty in a
Follow
second.
directions of law enforcement in an active crime scene. It's very evident he didn't want to do that. Very evident that the other individuals didn't want to do that. And you know, it's too bad the consequences had to be paid because he injected himself into that crime scene. I can't say that enough. He made the decision to go there. We didn't make the decision to talk to him. We didn't even know that individual was in existence until he came into that crime scene.
I want to go back to video number 1 because you keep saying that he injected himself into the crime scene. He was a guy on the street filming an operation. He was far away. He wasn't on the crime scene. And what I want you to see again is that law enforcement appears by the video we have to be approaching him and the person who is next to him, not the other way around. And so what I want to know is what evidence do you have that he went after law enforcement?
Sure. The fact that he was standing in the middle of the road, there was interaction between him, the bystanders, and law enforcement. And again, follow directions of law enforcement. He doesn't need to be in the middle of a crime scene. Dan, I don't think you would want to be in the middle of a crime scene, or you would want civilians in the middle of a crime scene injecting themselves into something that is none of their business at all.
True.
Can you also just answer?
I mean, that's very true. And shout out to my man. Hold on, let me go ahead and catch up on the super chats. Shout out to my man Parabolic Curvature. He said, at this point, I don't care about yours or ICE rationalization of the event. He is gone. ICE are not de-escalating. Shields, all you want at this point. I mean, Parabolic, look, bro, honestly, we're not even defending it. Be real with
it's
you,
an
dog.
unjustified. It's an unjustified homicide. It's not a murder. It's not an execution. I've heard all of it going. It is a wrongful death. They escalated the use of force triangle too fast.
Yep.
And the guy clearly, unless he had another gun on him, which they're not reporting, the guy clearly saw a gun based off of